Podcast back in action.
TNF.
TNF, Thoughts and Friends podcast.
I hate that.
Yeah, I like it.
Episode 9. We're back. Recapping week 1. Things happened.
Things happened.
Our first double duty weekend.
Whoo-wee. Boy, took it out of me.
Yeah, what a draining weekend, you know. Just 12 straight hours, back-to-back days of watching football. It's, I'm just a man.
You know, there's triathletes, there's long-distance bicyclists, there's,
Cyclists.
swimmers. No, bicyclists is the common term, I think. People that, we're like the David Goggins of sitting on our ass, I think.
Yeah, truly elite.
Mm-hmm. Some people would tap out. We power through.
Yeah.
We keep going.
Elite.
Blistered butt cheeks. Sore muscles. Bloodshot eyes.
Someone's got to watch all those games.
Someone's got to watch every single one of those goddamn games, and it's going to be us.
Yes, it is, and it was us.
It was us. So you're welcome.
Yeah. We watch so you don't have to. I'll jump on that grenade, It's my duty.
Yeah.
I wear that badge proud. Historic week 1 in the NFL.
Captain America of couch potatoes.
Do you know why it was a historic week 1?
Tell me, Wes. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you. Underdogs against the spread were 12-4. The best mark of a week 1 ever.
That's crazy.
That's
an insane number.
They're not building those casinos any smaller out there. Let me tell you that.
Wow.
It was a good week for the fellas out west.
That's weird.
Yeah. Underdogs historic 12-4 ATS. People are asking, are we sharp?
We did okay though. So I think here's what I think it is. I think we're actually stupid. I think the smart people bet the right stuff and lost, but the dumb idiots like you and me bet the wrong side and won.
Agree to disagree.
I think a little reverse psychology there. We won all these bets because we actually don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Gambling brain. I know that, but you know that I know I'm going to do this.
They don't play that game on spreadsheets, folks. They play with these eyes.
Hand in the dirt takes.
Play with these eyes.
On this podcast is what you're going to get. We both went 9-7 against the spread. Picked every single game. We both won, advanced in Survivor. You took the Niners. A little scare, but really was never too in doubt. The Lions made a little run. The Rams just beat the brakes for the most part off the Bears. Advanced there, 9-7. Pretty good considering old Johnny Public took a beating, which
not us.
Not these two. Not these guys.
The best dumb smart gamblers on the internet.
That's what you come here for. We went 9-7. We'll recap a few of the games, a few of the interesting points. Also, something interesting that you brought up. You want to hashtag rank some shit.
We're going to hashtag rank some shit. One thing I know about people on the internet and people that like sports, they like seeing the names of the stuff they like and having people put them in order. So they can say, you're wrong, you big, dumb, stupid butthole. But we're going to do it anyway.
What are we going to order?
Because we love it.
What are we going to order?
So I'm sitting there Sunday afternoon. I'm watching Jameis Winston sling it all over the place.
5 scores.
5 of them things. He did that thing. And I was thinking, if you could have any quarterback this year to win the Super Bowl, who would you want? The age-old debate of who the best quarterback in the league is. So we figured if we're going to try to win the Super Bowl and Wes and I are head coaches, who do we want our quarterback to be? We're going to rank him 10-1, best quarterback in the league. We will be excluding dirty, nasty boy Deshaun Watson.
He will not be involved. One season.
This season, the 2021-2022 Super Bowl, what quarterback gives you the best chance to win?
There will be no future involved. He's younger.
You're not going to see any Trevor Lawrences.
This season. So we'll do that at the end of the show. We can jump into some recaps. You want to just talk about some games?
Yeah, we haven't talked about Have we talked about the Thursday night game? Did we talk about? No.
No. We
Best
both
game of
picked-
the week was the first game of the week.
Both picked it correctly.
Idiots. Hello. Too many points. Dallas. Too good of a roster.
Super Bowl hangover.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Tampa Bay won the game.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Very
it was an
close
awesome
game,
game. Dak looked incredible. The Cowboys offense, I think, is going to be what we thought it was going to be. Well, what the, the high end was going to be.
They lose Michael Gallup for about a month. Don't think it should be a problem. Cedric Brown looked pretty good. Cedric Wilson. Noah Brown also played a little bit. Went away from Zeke, which is thank you, Kellen Moore. Thank you, Dak, who audibled out of a lot of stuff. Tampa Bay has the best run defense in the league. Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh, the linebacker that I can't remember from Nebraska.
Devin White?
No, Devin White. He plays next to Devin White. David.
Levante.
Bingo. Excellent run defenders. The point is, they stopped the run. They just didn't run it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't run. Like, hey, we're better than you on the outside. We're just going to beat you there. And for the most part, did.
They held up against the pass rush, which most people don't do against the old
True.
Tampa Bay Bucks. Tyron Smith over there, he helps. Best tackle in the league.
That's a catch-22. If you're going to throw it all night, you got to be able to.
Got to be able to give him some time, and they
protect the
did.
Quarterback. Yeah, they did. Very impressive. Almost pulled out a win on the road as a huge dog. Other side, their secondary wasn't great. Tom Brady ripped it apart. Gronk for one night only turned back the clock.
When's the last time Tom Brady had the ball in that situation and they didn't score? Has it ever happened?
Never.
Has they ever been stopped in that situation?
So Dallas.
Any other quarterback, I think that game's probably over
Dallas
with him.
kicked a field goal to go up by 1, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, it was the
Maybe.
ensuing field goal won the game. So either 1 or 2 points.
And then Brady got the ball with what, a minute and a half left.
Something like that.
0 people on the planet thought nothing was going to happen except they were going to go down and get a score.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like
especially against that defense, you could just walk it down the field.
you really
Clockwork.
can. I mean, you could put the 85 Bears out there. You could give Tom Brady, you and me in the slot, and he would just figure out a way to drive it down the field.
I don't get it.
Tom Brady is a witch.
He is a magical being. This motherfucker is 44 years old.
He's getting younger. He's getting better.
He looks 25.
He looks the exact
great.
same he did 10 years ago.
He looked like a bag of goop 15, 20
His
years
arm's
ago.
getting stronger.
He
I throw a football 5 times and my UCL's blown out. Not cool.
I don't know what it would be because nothing would make sense, but like, is there foul play here? What is he doing?
I mean,
He gets arms.
he'd have to have the best steroids in the world.
He's getting stronger.
I mean, if he had some sort of special steroids, I'd imagine everyone would have those steroids. I mean, just he and LeBron are the only 2 people that have access to these magical
maybe
steroids. I don't know.
He's nuts. He's incredible. 2 or 3 years ago, I thought it was done. I thought it was over. He found the elixir of life. He found the sorcerer's stone.
Stopped eating tomatoes.
And he is as good as he's ever been at 44 years old. It doesn't make sense. He's incredible. End of story.
Yeah. Okay. That game was good. In the 12 o'clock slate, Buffalo went down, which is a little bit surprising. Pittsburgh defense looked really good.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh, a lot of people were a little bit down on them to start the year. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're going to be right in the hunt like they always are. It's all going to kind of ride on how good Ben can be, and he looked good enough. Good enough to make him to the playoffs. Probably not good enough to get him deep in the playoffs.
No, I could see.
He's a game manager at this point, I think.
I don't want to, just because it happened last year, I don't want to, it seems obvious, but we'll see late in the year. He really
he lost a lot of weight. People forget he used to be fat.
Last year, towards the end of the year, I didn't think he looked great. He looked serviceable. He looked fine. Didn't really push the ball down the field much. I'm still lukewarm on the Steelers, although the defense, obviously, very good.
Defense, one of the better units in the league.
No panic on the Bills for me. Just a bad day against a good defense. Their defense was pretty solid as well. Allen, Diggs, the offense really couldn't get in sync. Meh. Throw it away first week. Not a huge concern for me.
No, me neither. We'll transition from a good defense to a bad defense. Arizona beat the absolute dog shit out of the Titans.
I picked the Titans. Maybe the most wrong I was all
I picked
all
the
week.
Cardinals. Maybe the most right I was all week. They took them to Pound Town.
And an offense I am concerned about. Bills, they'll be fine. I'm concerned.
The O-line looked bad, which is not normally
Chandler
what you want.
Jones. just
Chandler Jones.
Turnstiling those idiots on the line.
Taylor Lewan. The boys. Yikes.
5 sacks.
That's a lot for a team
What are we
in
doing?
like 2 weeks.
What are we doing? Yeah, he just blew up the entire game. Derrick Henry playing from behind, didn't have a big role. Like he still got 15 or so carries, but whatever. They were in catch-up mode from the start. And
Yeah,
really never got out of the blocks. Like it was bad.
No, they got knocked down in the first round and couldn't really recapture what they needed. Again, that was kind of a weird game too because they were playing from so far behind. I don't know, their whole game plan was messed up. But yeah, they looked bad. They looked very bad. They looked like a dead dog.
Really did.
Didn't look ready to play.
Healthy Kyler again last year off the.
He looked fun.
Off the shoulder. Mid season didn't really look himself. Looks healthy. Looks great running around. His little bobblehead.
He's so little.
Running
He's
fast.
so cute.
His arms and legs move so fast, and his head kind of just like dinks around.
If we're doing most adorable players in the NFL tier list,
he's
1-1.
got his little bandana deal or headband back there out of the back. Yeah, he's looks like a little action figure out there. Fun times. Anyways,
Teddy bear that runs a 4.3. Pretty cool.
They kicked the shit out of him. Yeah.
Yep. Beat the brakes off him. Joe Burrow's first game back. Nice game-winning drive. Put his
Looked
nuts
fine.
on the table.
Yeah, looks good.
Shoved it up
against
Kirk Cousins' ass, which I'd imagine basically everyone loved to see.
Yeah, we were really pulling for that. In overtime, right? Yeah, it was overtime.
Yes.
Had to force overtime. No real strong takeaways.
Jamar Chase can catch.
He can catch.
Apparently, he can actually catch.
It was a farce.
A lot of people thought the best wide receiver in college football couldn't catch.
We've been duped.
Turns out he can catch. I don't know.
Turns out one of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen since, I don't know, like Julio Jones or some shit. He's good.
Pretty good. 49ers were dominant for a stretch. They nearly blew it. Detroit kind of played how we thought they were. They were very rah-rah, played behind their coach. They were going for the jugular. They were trying to, make a statement, make some noise, as you say, in week one. They were down by quite a bit. They
were down 41-17 at one point and ended up losing by
mixed an onside kick recovery in there.
8 points, 41-33. They had a couple scores.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah.
Played hard.
Are you worried about the 49ers at all?
They lost Mostert after their 2 carries. Elijah Mitchell had a nice day. Curiously, Brandon Ayuk didn't see the field in the first quarter, played behind Trent Sherfield. Kind of odd. I don't know. He was a first-round pick for them.
He's been good, been productive when he's been on the
an odd
field.
one. I think the running back committee, the run game will, I think me and you could probably get 4 carries
Big
out
holes.
there for
We
Kyle
love big
Shanahan.
holes.
Big fan.
You got to go dig those holes. Any other noon games you want to talk about?
The 49ers, they were digging those. The spread show for week 1, I was on the Eagles. You ended up on the Falcons, but the season-long win total show, we were both very down on the Eagles.
They look pretty good.
That could be.
Did the Falcons look pretty bad?
Hard to say. So the Falcons they're such a candy ass team. A team like the Eagles is a perfect match for the Falcons. Just so good on the offensive, defensive lines. Just push them around. Just kick the shit out of them. If they can get into a track meet where there's not a lot of pass rush and they can sit back and on the fast track and throw it around, they can stay in some games. But the Eagles, they just, manhandled them.
They did.
All day. It was ugly.
Pumped.
Pumped indeed. There's the picture of Matt Ryan just in a heap on the ground on his face all day. It was bad. So I'll take a step back on the Eagles hate. The fronts on both sides are legit. Jalen Hurts
He looked fine.
looked fine. I
A
would.
lot of people are,
I would preface
pump
it with
the brakes on
it
some
was
of
the
these people.
Falcons for everybody.
Pump the brakes on some
But
people.
they look fine.
He looked fine.
Don't want to overreact, but the offensive defensive line looked very good. Falcons, yikes, could be very bad.
Game of the week, Kansas City, Cleveland, the one everyone had circled.
The rematch.
Great game. Other than Tampa Bay game, maybe the Monday night game. Probably better than the Monday night game if you like good football.
Yeah.
Chiefs got it done. Cleveland was leading for most of the game.
Pretty much the entire game.
Had a muff snap by the punter. That was basically the difference. Gave Mahomes a short field. The rest was history, basically. The Chiefs are just an absolute cheat code. You give them even a sliver of daylight.
Can you think of another player that just breaks the game like Tyreek Hill does? Just ever?
Him and Travis Kelce are 1 and 2, and they're both on the same team with the quarterback that does the
even
same
like
thing.
not even now, just like in the history of the league.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, maybe.
There's some running backs.
Barry Sanders-ish.
Barry Sanders.
They just
Walter Payton.
They just run away from people, throw it long play.
So he runs like a 4.25?
Yeah.
Most of these corners run a 4.3. I don't understand how the gap between half a second is that wide that he's getting that open. I don't understand how he does it.
The game speed, it just doesn't slow down. It's just game speed. He gets faster in pads.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I've never seen someone run away from people like he does.
It's like he runs on a treadmill and the other guys are running on regular grass.
I don't understand it. The Browns score and then they kick off and they have it on the 25 and Mahomes kind of just like jukes around, ends up rolling out and just hucking one deep, and Tyreek just runs under it and scores. Just run the touchdown play. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and then you also have Kelce, who, is always open in the middle of the field. He's going to break 2 tackles every single time. If he catches it, it's like a guaranteed 11 yards every single play, no matter what.
Yeah. Way too fast for linebackers, way too big for defensive backs.
You look up in the old dictionary, matchup nightmare. You see old 87.
Trav.
Old 87.
Yeah. Anyways, they're a cheat code. They just turn it on. However, as we talked about, against the spread, wasn't great last year. They just kind of find ways to win in the end.
Yeah, Kansas City, not very good against the spread because
laying big numbers
everyone knows how good they are.
Their reputation ended up not covering that spread. We both had that game right. But in the end, yeah, that punter, yikes.
Yeah, that's a hurt. That one hurts. That's not how you want to lose a game.
Almost 2 decades straight, the Browns haven't won in week 1. That's just tough.
I think
to
it's
do.
like
17, 18 games.
It's like 2001 or something was
That's
the last
just
time, or
really
2002.
tough to do.
Seems unlikely.
That's pretty much it for me.
The most interesting game of the afternoon slate that was, the most shocking was the Saints beating the brakes off of the Packers. That was unbelievable. That game more than any other game that game shocked me more than any other game of the entire week.
Aaron Rodgers.
What was he doing? He looked really bad.
Like his powers were stolen.
It's like he's been fucking around all off season.
I don't be that guy, but
Let's get the Stephen A. Smith takes going.
What's this new girl's deal?
Guy
What's her
doesn't
deal?
Really care.
Does he care about the game anymore? People are asking.
Skip.
He's been hanging out with Miles Teller too much.
Skip. Yeah, I don't know. He looked really bad. He did not look like he was. He didn't look like Aaron Rodgers.
Old and it was brutal. And the other side, Jameis
beat around. Jameis
teabagging
looked like an MVP. 5 touchdowns, 145 yards. Seems impossible. Mm-hmm. That's some Madden shit.
Yeah, I mean,
like a third of his completions were touchdowns.
He would have had more yards, but Aaron Rodgers just kept turning it over. He just had short field after short field.
20-yard touchdowns. Crazy. But James did look very good. He looked incredible. And no one's ever denied the talent of Jameis Winston. They've denied the decision making, the accuracy at times. The talent's always been there. Guy can huck it.
Guy can see now.
He's got new eyes. He got LASIK.
Eye surgery.
Maybe
folks.
I should get LASIK.
Me
You think
too.
I'd be a better podcaster if I got LASIK?
It wouldn't
hurt.
It wouldn't get worse.
Wouldn't hurt.
I'd give it a shot. Yeah, they kicked the shit out of him.
Sunday night, your Rams. SoFi in front of the folks. taking the old Bears to Pound Town.
We are who we thought we were.
The Bears
Matthew
are who we thought
Stafford,
they were.
MVP. Didn't love the run defense.
I think they were daring them to run, I think.
Definitely,
I don't know.
That's how they played a lot last year. They struggled against the run a bit last year, but they kind of sit back and let the run game kind of happen. See if
I think they
Donald
know
and the
that
guys up front can stop.
most teams they can score faster than you can. So if you're going to grind the clock out, I think they'll take their chances with that. And I think, like you said, their front on the defensive line is as good as it gets, so they'll take their chances. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Maybe Donald can get a tackle for a loss, and then they're behind the sticks, and you're playing ahead.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. Montgomery looked pretty good.
Andy Dalton did not complete a pass longer than 12 yards the entire game.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean,
I think he only attempted like 2.
They weren't giving him much over the top. Just letting Dalton dink and dunk and eventually make mistakes or something in front of the sticks where he can wrap up. I like the Ramsey's in this new kind of role where he's not playing coverage quite as much. Kind of, they're calling it the star position.
Moving him around
a lot.
Chess piece.
He's a pretty good tackler for a defensive back. He's getting involved around the ball a little more. That was good. Donald didn't have a huge impact. Did get a sack late, but
he always has an impact. Whether the
Aaron Donald,
whether the stat sheet will say it, he blows shit up.
Stafford looked great.
Looked incredible. Looked fantastic.
Bears secondary, really some big breakdowns. Really, receivers
Bears
streaking
defense.
down the field.
Bears defense is not what it was. It looks like. I think it could be a long year for the Bears. Even if Justin Fields does play, that defense is not what it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, Eddie Goldman in the middle wasn't playing Sunday night, which is big for the run defense. I've never been a Darrell Henderson guy myself. He scored a 1-yard touchdown. I didn't think he looked great. He did play a ton, but mostly just Stafford looked great. Cooper Kupp looked great. Woods had an amazing catch in the back of the end zone. Higbee caught a few crossers over the middle.
Van Jefferson, deep bomb.
Caught a bomb, yep. Didn't get touched, got up and ran in for a touchdown. Overall, solid A- for the Rams overall. I mean, B+. The defense was fine. Offense was about anything you could ask for.
Yeah, I thought the Rams looked good. Bears looked bad. The weirdest game of the week, the game that happened yesterday. We're recording this on Tuesday. Vegas, Baltimore, opening up the old Death Star to some folks. Lamar didn't look particularly good throwing the ball, although Brian Greasy would have you believe that he looked like Joe Montana passing the ball.
Why? I know it's like their job. Like, what are they going to say? Like, oh, this guy sucks. But, like, don't lie to me. Like, just lie straight to my face. He threw one good deep ball. Was it Watkins that ran into that?
Mm-hmm.
Was that for a score or was that?
No, he ran into the guy. He got up.
Right. Yeah, that was a nice ball down the right kind of seam, or down the.
Yeah, his deep ball looked better than it normally does. But I mean, he looked so unsure in the pocket. His feet were so.
You kept saying it. I noticed he just
twinkled.
kept pump faking. He was never decisive. Every time he would try to step into a throw, he would always decide against it and pump fake.
It was like it almost looked like there was like a dog shot collar on him. He's like, bad throw, nope.
Yeah,
and in that way, it's like, oh, he is better.
Yeah,
he'd get to right here to be like, oh, nope, can't do that. Ah, shoot.
And another guy like Tyreek Hill that just looks like a different game's happening out there when he's running around. Just
he's so slippery, impossible to tackle. But Vegas won. Baltimore drove down and kicked a field goal, right?
Yeah, with like 50 seconds left or
probably.
something.
And then thought it was over, basically. Carr completed a deep pass to Bryan Edwards. He caught it. They kicked the field goal, go to overtime. And then they get the deep play to Edwards again. We think Raiders, he scores. Everyone storms the field.
Down at the 1.
Down at the 1, it turns out. They have to bring everyone off the field. And then we do what everyone's afraid of. Derek Carr throws an interception in the end zone.
Well, you're down at the 1. Like, all right, we'll just punch it in. Get stuffed on a quarterback sneak. Then a false start back to the 6.
Yes.
Willie Snead threw his hands off a helmet intercepted, going the other way. And
Defense gets the stop on Baltimore, though, and Derek Carr, huge bomb. Zay Jones.
Pretty much just zero blitz.
Yeah,
they had
blitzed
to knock him
everyone.
out. They had to knock him out of field goal range pretty much. And Zay Jones just ran under a lob.
Touchdown.
I've thought this pretty much every time I hear him talk, but the post-game interview with Derek Carr seems like a great dude.
Yeah,
Good
seems like a
interview.
nice guy.
Seems like a real nice guy. Pretty mediocre to above-ish average quarterback.
He's right in that middle.
Right in that mid-tier, but good for him. Good win. An opening night for the stadium for fans. Good for him.
Yeah.
And also, I picked the game right, so.
Yeah, I
Shouts
didn't.
out-
I
shouts
think
out
a
to
lot
me.
of people picked the Ravens in that game. A lot of people weren't expecting that. The Raiders' defense looked incredible.
Max Crosby,
That guy's a freak. That guy's he's
big time.
up next.
Yeah.
He's
Big
going to be a
time.
household name pretty soon, I think.
I mentioned Lamar running away from people. Not him. There's a clip of him
Yes.
trying to get to the edge, and Crosby cut him off
Yes,
fast.
crazy.
He is a big man that can
Did
really
you know
move.
Max Crosby was an alcoholic?
Yes.
They mentioned it a few
I'm
times.
aware now.
They mentioned it a few times in the game last night.
Former.
Good for
yes.
him, though.
Yeah.
Glad
It is
he's doing better.
It is actually a pretty good story, but yeah, they really drove that one home.
Every single time he did anything. I imagine he didn't want you to see. He's like, "Oh, just talk about me playing football, maybe."
Look at the stuff I'm doing. I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of pretty good, let's talk quarterbacks. Let's talk NFL quarterbacks and who the best ones are.
Okay. Let's do it.
So I think the best way to do this, for time's sake, we'll
Okay.
do 10 through 6.
Okay.
Sort of in one go. A little quick elaboration, and then 5 through 1, we'll get into the nitty-gritty.
Sounds good. Little segue in the biz from the Monday night game. Lamar Jackson didn't make my top 10.
Wow.
Not in my top 10. He's 11th for me.
11th
11th on my list. So he's 11. Do you want me to just go ahead and start?
Yeah.
I have ahead of him. Probably not going to like this. Probably most people aren't going to like this, but Justin Herbert, number 10.
I have him 9.
Way better passer than Lamar. Obviously not the athlete, but can move. Think he's just the next Aaron Rodgers. I think he's an incredible quarterback. I think the Chargers are going to get a chance to show what he can do in the playoffs, and I would want him quarterback my team.
I agree. I think he's, one of the more talented, more dynamic quarterbacks we've got in the game right now. The only thing that knocks him down, he's only played one season, obviously. So I think most of these other guys above him, well, all these guys above him have proven, not all of them, have proven to me that they've all played in playoff games before, I guess, to varying degrees of success. But just being that second-year guy moves him down a little bit, but he's the only second-year guy on this list. He's in there at number 9 for me.
He is the least experienced player on my list.
Yeah, same. I mean,
Second-year guy. it would be tough to include anyone else.
yeah,
At this point.
no Burrow or Tua, obviously.
Right. So he's 9 for you. So go ahead with 10 for you.
Ryan Tannehill, number 10 for me. I think he sort of embodies. He's kind of got a little bit of some dynamic stuff to his game. He moves pretty well, but overall, just a really, really solid game manager, like a game manager plus for me. I would compare him to similar to Alex Smith, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Trust him, feel good when he's got the ball in his hands. Seems like he's got the locker room. Seems like all his teammates are, think he's the guy, think he's the dude. I think he slots in right around 10. I think he could go 10 to 13, somewhere in there probably.
I have him written below Lamar. He's number 12 for me after Lamar. Totally agree. I think an injury and Adam Gase kind of unraveled his time in Miami, and he found a new home in Tennessee. I think he's been nothing. He's exceeded expectations, been nothing but great for that team. Yeah, I think he's more dynamic than he gets credit for. Pretty good athlete. People forget he was a receiver in college.
He used to play receiver at Texas A&M. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Good athlete, despite what we saw Sunday. Good player. I have him outside of my top 10 at 12. So we both have 10, and you have 9. So 9 for me, I have Baker Mayfield.
I have him 11th.
Okay, so basically we just swapped Tannehill and Mayfield, I think he's just a slightly better version than Tannehill for me. Pretty much exactly what you said, game manager plus. I think he runs specifically their system really well. I think he's dependable. I think he's smart, got a great arm. Also probably a little underrated athletically, maybe not to the Tannehill, but in that range. Just very similar group, similar bucket. Just
him and Tannehill is really splitting hairs for me.
Just a dependable guy that I would be fine taking into a playoff game.
Baker's a little younger. I've seen Baker win, one playoff game? He only won one?
They won the
Beat
game.
Pittsburgh last year.
Yep.
And they didn't make it the year before. Lost to the Chiefs, right? Yep. So, yeah, I just seen Tannehill do it a little bit more. So, for this particular season, I trust Tannehill slightly more, I guess. Yeah, they're pretty similar for me. So,
okay. So, we're pretty close here at this point. I'll go with my number 8. I have Kyler Murray.
I have Kyler.
If I had to guess, I would say he's higher for you. I think
no, he's not in the top 10 for me.
Not in the top 10? Okay. I think he does have some improving to do as a passer. I think he gets a little bit too much credit for
he's
his
too erratic
ability.
For me
he is
to
a little
put
erratic.
him in the top 10 on this list. He's too turnover prone at this stage. I think he's got the potential. For going off potential, he'd be probably top 5, but right now, after last season, if I want a guy to win a game, guy that's never played in a playoff game, can't put him in my top 10.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I think the ceiling that he would provide would be Super Bowl type ceiling. Could lose in the wild card round. I understand that, but I think he offers not as much as Lamar with his legs and extending plays and making plays outside of the pocket. Not as much, but probably rank him second in the league as far as making plays outside of the pocket with his legs. But I think is a much more polished passer than Lamar, and that's why he made it above him at this point. I don't care that he hasn't played. I mean, Lamar's played and lost playoff games. One, two playoff?
1-2.
1-2, yeah. Whatever, that's fine. That experience is whatever to me. I'll take Kyler. I think he's offers enough outside of the pocket and offers more than Lamar throwing, so that's why he's above him for me and above the game manager types, just the ceiling offered above like Baker and Tannehill and those guys.
Similar to your logic, I have Lamar Jackson 8th. I think he is the best running quarterback in the history of the NFL. I don't think it's really even – I mean, and Michael Vick would be the only guy that's comparable, I think. I guess Cam Newton in a different way, but similar as a threat with his legs. But I don't know. I think he's so hard to game plan for. I think it's really hard to prevent him from beating you with his legs, and I think each year he's getting better as a passer. And this is always kind of stupid to say, but it does feel like in big moments he certainly – rises up to the occasion usually. Seems like in big moments, in big spots, in clutch situations, he does well.
I would argue that he's tough to game plan for. I mean, to a point. When, like, comparing it to the NBA, kind of Giannis-like, although we kind of buck that until it happens. I wouldn't say easy to game plan for, but he has, in my opinion, significant enough weaknesses that does lend itself to game planning him out of the game and making him do things that he doesn't want to do. I think he's bad enough at those things that's why he didn't make my list. Throwing to the boundary, still need to see more, although if you want to say before this season, we're picking these players. Last night, he made a couple good throws. They mentioned that he was trying to get wider with his base, and maybe that'll help him out. But I think I just don't trust him enough passing to have him on this list, even though he does break the game with his legs. I think
his skill set is so unique and so difficult to stop. I thought that Baltimore was super vanilla with what they were running on offense. It seemed like they were running about half their playbook to me. I don't know. It seemed like very traditional offense, maybe, where it's usually not gimmicky, but like more triple option.
And that could
like
be So they
three
had some,
tight ends.
They had some
type of
trouble.
stuff.
They had some trouble with the mesh point on like some read stuff. 3 of their running backs were out last night, and Rashad Bateman isn't playing. Marquise Brown did play. I don't think anyone else was out on the outside. But yeah, they lost a ton of their running backs, which that experience in the offense maybe is you might be onto something there. With that, they might have been a little vanilla with the run game last night, but I just don't.
Number 8 on this list,
good enough.
former
passer
league
for me.
MVP. I'll take it all day.
Fair enough. Go ahead with your next one.
7, I've got L.A. Ram quarterback Matthew Stafford.
Okay. Certainly made my list.
You have him higher than this.
Yes.
Really? I don't think I could. Ooh, really? Okay. Again, though, hasn't really shown it in the playoffs. I have no doubts, really, that he can do it in the playoffs. He's kind of one of the best-kept secrets in the NFL for a lot of casual fans that don't watch the Lions, rightfully so. But I don't know. I mean, he's a dynamic thrower. He's got that fuck you attitude. Trust him with the ball in his hands. Dudes are going to play hard for him. I don't want to say he's a winner. He's been exclusively a loser his entire career, but you know what I mean. He's got that guy. You want him in your foxhole in those type of situations.
He's a dog. He's tough as hell.
He kind of is similar to the next guy on my list, but
like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I have him ahead of Josh Allen.
So who do you have 7th?
Dak Prescott.
Okay.
I think Dak could win the MVP this year, partly due to the offense that he plays in. I was skeptical when he was coming out of Mississippi State, for sure. Later round pick, ended up playing because Romo got hurt. I mean, how could you not be impressed?
He's done nothing when he's been healthy but be incredibly successful.
What is there more to say? I don't care.
I can't nitpick any part of his game when he's healthy. Other than his health, you cannot nitpick a single thing about him.
You said Stafford, he hasn't shown it in the playoffs. And same with the Dak. I don't care. I mean, what more could you want from him? I just don't. In my opinion, it's hard. So the previous 3 were a tier: Kyler, Baker, and Herbert for me. Stafford, Josh Allen, and Dak Prescott are kind of their own tier, along with another guy they have ahead of them. I think they're all very, very similar. Allen has won a playoff game, I guess. He is ahead of Dak for me. I mean, it's hard to be anything but impressed with what Dak's done since he's been in the league. Yeah.
So, I mean, we can just kind of talk about these 3 guys because we all have them in the same 3 slots in slightly different orders. I can just kind of explain why I put him the way I have. Dak 5. Josh Allen for me still a little. He's got a little bit of that Jay Cutler, Brett Favre, where if I'm in a Super Bowl game, I'm not super sure he's not just going to throw it into triple coverage because he's got such a big arm. Dak, I trust him a little bit more. I think. You saw him in that Sunday night game. He looked incredible. I mean, I don't think he made a mistake the entire night. It didn't seem. He rarely makes a throw that I question. He always seems to make the right read. Granted, he's had incredible weapons his entire career, which helps. Something, I would say about Lamar and Stafford is they've not had anyone to throw to really their entire career.
Right. Yeah, with Stafford, what's he supposed to do? He's played for.
Yeah, he played with Calvin Johnson, I guess, but yeah. He has had
to the playoffs, right?
I think once.
I mean, I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Played for strictly historically bad defenses his entire career. I agree. Dude's got a rocket arm. Dude's a winner. But I have Dak 5, Allen 6. His ability to create with his legs puts him a little bit over Stafford for me. Dak, similar, can create with his legs, and also I trust his decision making a little bit more. I think he makes all the throws. I think he, again, is another big pressure guy that I trust and would put my eggs in that basket, I think.
Yeah, I would say Allen's ability to create with his legs and extend plays puts him ahead of Dak for me. I think they're pretty similar.
So you have Stafford 5th. He's the 5th best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
Wow.
I think he's so good.
Wow. That's pretty high.
I think he's so good. I can't put him ahead of Russ. Russ is 4th for me.
Me too.
But I think he's incredible. I think he's going to show this year. he's my pick to win MVP. It's not because I'm a Rams fan. It's really not. I think he is one of the few players in the league that can elevate lesser players around him. And I would trust his decision-making slightly over Allen in a big spot at this stage of their career. Very similar. I think Allen and Stafford are kind of similar. Allen offers a little more with the legs, but just giant arms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
that's what
tough motherfuckers that you would just foxhole guys, winners. I just have Stafford.
Man,
a little bit better decision making.
Thinking about Matt Stafford as a top 5 quarterback, yeah, I don't know. Thinking about any of these guys as a top 5 quarterback is kind of crazy.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I put any of these guys 5th. It's kind of like, wow, really? That guy's a top 5 quarterback? I think when I made this list, I think every team has like an okay quarterback, but the elite talent at quarterback is, a little thinner than I guess I thought. I guess it depends what your definition of elite is.
I think there's a lot of young talent that it would be like we haven't seen it yet from him, so it's tough.
Like the fact that Justin Herbert is 9th on this list is kind of surprising to me. Obviously, he's got insane talent, but you would think there would be other. I mean, I guess another person making this list, they would put other guys ahead of Justin Herbert, but. Like Ryan Tannehill being even in the conversation for a top 10 quarterback on its surface, not thinking about it and looking at all the names seems crazy, but
yeah, when you break it down,
you need a really good quarterback to win, and you see the teams that win have some of these guys up here at the top on their team.
Yeah. So I have Dak, Allen, and Stafford kind of in their own tier.
Same.
5, 6, 7. And then I have kind of a tier of its own. I think Russ is in a tier of his own, kind of below the big 3 of quarterbacks for me.
Man, I didn't want that last Sunday game to sway me, but old number 12 up in Green Bay, I don't know, man.
Relax.
In the words of Aaron Rodgers, relax. Boy, did they look shitty.
Relax. Anyways, Russ, that roster reeks. He does have a couple good receivers, but that roster, year in and year out, is not as good as he makes it look. Their line is awful, always. They, until now, haven't really offered anything as far over the middle, any tight end. Chris Carson is pretty average to me. I think their defense has been up and down. Early in his career, it was great, but as of late, hasn't been as good. I think he is one of the best players in the league. Bottom line.
Yeah, cannon arm, good brain.
Elevates players around him.
Floor raiser. Not many quarterbacks do that.
Carries that roster.
Yeah, carries him week in, week out. He plays with one of the worst offensive lines in the league and somehow still puts up 300 yards a game.
He might be the number 1 player in the league for me, or number 1 quarterback, that if he got injured, I think the Seahawks vie for the number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dog shit.
Yeah, he is.
He is the entire team. I think he is incredible. Can't put him with the rest of the guys just because.
Him and Rodgers is
close for me. It's closer than I thought it would be, and I assume Rodgers is 3
Rodgers
for you.
is 3 for me. I think I have 3 tiers here. I have Russ in his own, Rodgers in his own, the top 2 in their own.
Yeah.
The top 2 are a tier above Aaron Rodgers for me.
I don't think there's I think I agree. Yeah, I think Rodgers and Wilson are in their own tier. I don't think you can really separate them.
Yeah.
They're both Super Bowl champions.
I would kind of agree. 1-time Super Bowl champions. People forget that about Aaron Rodgers. 1-time Super Bowl champion.
He'll get back there. He'll win it again. Surely.
1 time.
Right?
1 appearance.
Mike McCarthy.
1 appearance. Dak Prescott, he's got a Super Bowl winning coach finally.
That's what we've been waiting for. Anyways, pretty self-explanatory. Aaron Rodgers,
good player. Really good at throwing footballs. One of the best to ever do it. One of the most talented passers this league's ever seen. Another guy that throw him on any team, he makes them 6 or 7 wins better, it seems.
No doubt. Incredible
Raises
player.
the floor. I mean, he's been playing, speaking of playing with the dog shit, you talk about squandering that guy by the talent they've put around him, other than Devontae Adams.
The draft capital has been used. They traded up
to draft
a quarterback when you have Aaron, the MVP. He's not going to play a snap for 2 years. He could have. What are you doing?
What were they doing?
Maybe they could have drafted a player that could have helped them beat Tampa last year. Maybe win a Super
There
Bowl.
were so many wide receivers on the board there.
Anyone, a defensive back, or
Any other position.
offensive lineman,
Fullback,
anything.
kicker.
Someone that would also play.
I don't know.
Just truly incredible. Whatever, I digress. Absolute disaster. I assume you have Mahomes first?
Yeah.
You have to.
Touchdown Jesus. I mean, he's Jesus Christ on the football field. Like, when I watched Aaron Rodgers, I was like, that guy is as talented a thrower as you'll ever see. And Patrick Mahomes is a different beast. Sweet mother of God. Talk about guys that are demons, that are
being a witch.
Witches. That guy's playing a different sport.
So you can't put, is there an argument to put Tom Brady first?
Yeah. He's the best quarterback to ever live. He beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Certainly an argument. I would absolutely hear your argument if you think Tom Brady's won. Guy won 7 Super Bowls. That's fucking
He's
insane.
getting better.
That's fucking insane.
He looks better now than he did 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback these eyes have ever seen.
Correct.
It's I don't want to go Skip and Shannon on him, but it's LeBron Jordan IMO.
Joe Montana's Magic Johnson at this point, or Kareem?
It's resume versus no one will ever match Jordan or Tom Brady's resume. They're the greatest of all time. But these eyes, one is better than the other. And it's LeBron and Mahomes. Don't want to get into LeBron Jordan.
Yeah, I could go for days on this, but
I think it's a similar argument for me. He'll never. It's not reachable. He's already lost to him, which is tough. Like, you just end the argument there.
He's already done. Already can't beat him. But yeah, it's same as any generation. Like, a lot of people, when they watch Dan Marino and Joe Montana, are probably like, Dan Marino, much better thrower of the football, could really sling it, but won 5 fewer Super Bowls. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. Here's something I just thought of at the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say the 3 guys that I had just outside my top 10: Baker, Kyler, Derek Carr.
I could go to war with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I kind of like him.
I think in the right team. I don't think if he's like in a Russell Wilson situation, obviously, that's a good thing at all. If he's in, like who's a recent quarterback, if he's in a Nick Foles role and an incredible roster, I think he could easily win your team a Super Bowl.
I think he could win 11 or 12 games with Tampa's roster.
Yeah, if he was on Tampa, if he was on the Rams, if he was on the 49ers, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How many of these guys on this list do you think are in the top 10 all time?
Ooh.
That's a tough one, huh?
Mahomes and Brady, obviously. Rodgers, obviously, I think.
Yeah, it's probably just those 3. Maybe Russ. I
Russ
don't think no one 5 or below is.
No chance. No, they haven't. No, none of them have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Russ. You got to think, like, who's up there? Montana, Favre, Manning. Those guys are all better than Russ, right? Aikman.
Terry Bradshaw won a lot of Super Bowls.
I don't know. Interesting thing. Probably just those top 3. Probably
Russ the top 3. I think Russ would be on the fringe.
11 to 15,
yeah,
probably.
Probably so. Yeah.
Maybe even lower. I don't know.
Fun exercise.
I haven't put much thought into that. But that's all we got for this one.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing some more drafting, doing some more ranking, giving the people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
You've been talking uniforms. We've been having our eyes
college uniform
peeled
draft
on these sexy uniforms.
NFL uniform draft.
NFL college uniform draft. Stay tuned for that.
It's coming.
We'll be back later this week with the Against the Spread show, game by game. We'll give a few thoughts, pick every game, pick our survivor pick, do the whole deal, the weekly show. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. It's been episode 9, and we will see you next time.